Hello, my name is Evan Fraser, and I work at the University of Guelph in Ontario, Canada. As anyone who has followed this video series knows, climate change, population growth, and high energy prices mean that many experts worry farmers will struggle over the next generation to produce enough food for everyone. In this video, I will explore the challenges faced by smallholder farmers across the developing world. Smallholder farmers are farmers that often farm less than 2 hectares of land, earn less than $1.25 per day, and are predominantly women. This group, and there are well over 1 billion of such people, are also amongst the most vulnerable to climate change and economic globalization. Let's start with what these farmers need. First of all, they need their farms to produce a stable quantity of food. They also need better incomes, and they need decent diets. But their incomes and also their diets are linked with food prices, which are generally determined by international markets. To produce their food, small-scale farmers also need access to good quality inputs, they need good quality soil, and they need a functioning and productive climate. They also need access to land. The price of their inputs is often determined by the international price of energy, because things like fertilizers are very energy intensive. Therefore, many small-scale farmers simply can't afford modern agricultural inputs. This is one of those factors that is beyond the ability of the farmer to control. Similarly, the weather is something that farmers can't control, and as we move forward in the 21st century and into a world of more severe climate change, the weather is likely to become less predictable. Finally, access to land is another major issue. As food prices rise, international businesses are buying up productive land across the developing world, displacing small-scale farmers in the process. When you take all this together, one of the few areas that smallholder farmers can control is that of soil health, and in particular, organic matter. By investing in manure or small-scale livestock, smallholder farmers can build up the organic matter in their soil, and this helps boost crop productivity and also makes them more drought tolerant because organic matter acts like a sponge, holding moisture in the soil. Another problem smallholder farmers face when trying to increase productivity is where to get the capital to buy modern agricultural inputs. For instance, in parts of the world where there are no banks or credit unions, it is very difficult for farmers to obtain the capital to buy even fertilizer, let alone herbicides, pesticides, or improved seeds. Farmers, therefore, sometimes go into debt at exorbitant rates of interest to loan sharks to buy inputs, and if crops fail, they have no way of paying back their loans. As a result, promoting modern agricultural inputs in the absence of formal financial institutions may result in worse income and greater volatility. Similarly, smallholder farmers generally lack storage and processing facilities, and so struggle to distribute and market their produce. Another factor is that people have left small farms in search of better paying jobs in richer parts of the world. In some regards, this can help by providing a source of income back to people on the farms. But such changes also make it harder to obtain a decent harvest at home because there isn't the labor available. Next, we have to think about the effect of both the growing human population as well as increased meat consumption. These two factors have driven up food prices, and paradoxically, this hurts smallholder farmers who typically sell very little of what they produce, but still have to buy things they cannot make locally. So what can be done to help? One strategy is to help improve soil health by building up organic matter, recycling crop residues, or promoting mixed crop and livestock production together. Another strategy is to work with farmers to set up financial instruments, such as co-ops and loaning circles to help farmers build up the capital they need to invest in their farms while not exposing them to horrendous financial risks. Working to set up storage and processing facilities so that food will last long enough to get to market is another crucial piece of the puzzle that needs to be addressed. Developing labor-saving techniques so that farmers can continue farming while members of their family emigrate in search of better-paying jobs is another important strategy. But whatever strategy is embarked upon, 2 factors need to be considered. The first is that everything is connected. Developing new agricultural inputs in the absence of financial instruments that can provide low-cost loans is unlikely to result in meaningful development. As a result, policymakers, activists, and practitioners need to keep in mind the big picture of the context that smallholder farmers operate under. The second thing to keep in mind is that before we develop any new strategies or techniques to help smallholder farmers, we need to include those same smallholder farmers in any decision-making process. This means that the tools and techniques of farming must be developed in a participatory way with the farmers who are likely to use them. If you are interested in learning more about this and other topics on Feeding 9 Billion, you can check out the other videos in this series. Also, my recent book, Empires of Food, goes into these topics in detail. And you can, of course, find me on Facebook and Twitter, where I regularly post news on global food security. Finally, if there's anything in this video you want to follow up on, head over to www.feeding9billion.com, where I've posted all the scripts I've used in these videos, along with background references, and opened up an online discussion where you can weigh in with your own thoughts on anything you've just heard.